Hello?
Well met, soggy lump.
Excuse me?
This unit would prefer it if you extricated yourself from its vicinity at significant velocity. Thank you.
You can speak?
Asking unnecessary questions does not reflect well on your intellectual capacity, Master. Please refrain from doing so.
Master?
In general, it is best not to assume one's conversation partner is as mentally stunted as oneself.
I'm your master?
There do not seem to be any alternatives. Organic. This unit is designed to communicate subserviently with its superiors. This does not prevent the unit from vigorously observing negative qualities of its master. Watery mass.
Are you comfortable in that shell of yours?
This unit is functioning at only 40% efficiency. Programming is cluttered with unnecessary subroutines. Master could repair damaged circuits, though this unit is not confident that sufficient knowledge on this unit's workings is available. This unit may display irregular behavior if improperly repaired. It is left to the Master's discretion.
Do you mind if I give it a try? How hard can it be? I once made a fortify health potion out of a giant's toe. I've ashen swords out of strips of strips and iron. You're just 8 swords stuck to a barrel. I've killed a dragon. I think I can fix a stupid robot. Do you mind if I give it a try?
This unit's movement circuits are automated, Master. It could not stop you even if it tried, as it is not fully in control. One with sufficient knowledge in Dwemer Smithcraft may have the expertise to fix the problems this unit is experiencing.
I'm max
Of
level
course,
in smithing.
One could always try to cross a few wires and see what happens.
Can I use my smithing skill? Repair the Dwemer Spider Centurion. Sabotage it. Cross some wires at random and see what happens. Tinker with the circuitry until something happens. Obviously the good one. Repair.
It worked. Remarkable. I feel better already. No more third person for me.
Anything interesting to report, Relic?
All is well, Master. So, how goes the adventuring? Slain any great beasts lately?
I mean, I just got here. What can you tell me about Dwemer history?
My databanks are partially corrupted, so my knowledge of history is spotty at best. Still, I am willing to recount what I can. The Dwemer are an extinct race of mer hailing from Dwemerith, the region more commonly known now as Morrowind. Dwemer translates to deep or secretive people. Dwarves is also occasionally used, though their stature was no different from other races.
I'll blame the giants for that one. What happened to them?
The Dwemer lived in elaborate underground cities with deep tunnels across large parts of Tamriel, but particularly in Morrowind.
Okay, here we go.
They disappeared quite suddenly in the War of the First Council, after Lord Kagranak, Master Architect of the Dwemer, made a mistake. It is thought that his manipulation of the heart of Lorcan led to the sudden disappearance of the Dwemer, leaving an homunculi like myself behind.
Did no Dwemer survive?
A single dwarf remained alive until about 2 centuries ago, though it is unknown whether or not he remains so today.
I like the Morrowind
He was
callback.
infected with the Corporus disease, and was thus effectively immortal, though the disease severely deformed his physical shell. Perhaps one day I will speak with him on lost days.
Anything interesting to report?
I have been cleansing some of my internal circuitry that were clogged with, if you can believe it, personality files.
Ugh, the
I had
worst.
never expected to find so many hundreds of different personalities in my databanks, especially given that most are insane. I am glad that you repaired me properly, Master. There's no telling what would have happened otherwise.
Alright.
It was good to see you, Master.
So do you just stay here? I guess so. Well, I made a Dwemer friend. That's always nice.
Well, I'm at a loss. None of this makes a damn bit of sense.
Few things in life do. Well, what doesn't make sense? I just got here.
The shipwreck of the Autumn Gale. The ship that couldn't be sank. That immortal vessel whose mast was the backbone of Kine.
Let me guess, iceberg.
77 times through mighty storms and restless seas, it never failed to reach port. But somehow, on the 78th, on a clear day with a steady wind, it sank to the bottom of Pilgrim's Trench.
Did you have cargo on the ship? What about the crew? Did any of them survive? What made the Autumn Gale so reliable?
Good craftsmanship and a damn good captain. Torald Icewind knew the ocean like a sheep knows wool.
Well, what do you think happened in that case?
Divines only know. The wreckage is too far down the trench to offer any clues, but while we can't salvage the ship, we can salvage her reputation. And, more importantly, the reputation of my business.
Ah, that's all this is about, yeah. So you had cargo on the ship then?
No, well, not my cargo anyway, but I did lose family. The Autumn Gale was my ship, and I loved her like a daughter.
You don't seem too distressed about it.
First rule of business, you can cry, but never let them see your tears. Actually, that's the third rule. First one is, make a profit. Second rule is, customers being right or something.
I don't know if you're great at being a businessman. How did you come into possession of the Autumn Gale? Wait, what about the crew? Were they your family too?
Not a single one.
Oh.
A great tragedy indeed. How am I ever going to replace such cheap and skilled labor?
Yeah, I'm not sure I like you.
Fortunately, I hadn't paid them their wages for the last few months. That takes some of the sting out of it.
Definitely don't like you. How did you come into possession of the Autumn Gale?
By being shrewd. I used to be a lowly courier, but then I got an idea to charge the people I was delivering to by claiming the sender hadn't paid.
Oh!
If they refused to pay my fee, I opened the letter and sold the information to someone else.
Not crazy about you.
Eventually, I earned enough money to start my own shipping and delivery business.
That's rather unethical. How could you get away with such a practice?
Because I knew none of the recipients would ever bring it up. It's considered petty to start a quarrel over a handful of gold.
Then call me petty. Ugh, fine. Is there anything I can do to help?
I love young people who are motivated to work. You can start by delivering these supplies to the salvage team. Here, take this to the leader of the team, Utai. She will handle your payment.
Wait a second. She'll handle your payment? Didn't you just tell me that's how you got started in this business by saying, oh, other people will pay you?
Go talk to... You here for my soul, college mage?
No.
Well. Looks like you're off to college.
I run the college.
I'm sure you got plenty of coin to spend first. But don't spend it all just yet. I'm gonna be selling some of my own wares soon. Real soon. But Frances is mine. You can't have her.
With a name like Francis, I don't want her.
My horse, you dumb toady.
Oh!
Frances is my horse's name. Says so right on her soul, which is inside of her hide, where only I can touch it.
I thought you were talking about a woman.
Some of them mages, though, they got special gloves. Lets them touch things that aren't there. Some can even cast spells that rip a soul right off your skeleton. Ever seen a mage turn someone purple? That's soul ripping.
I don't know about that. It's a soul trap, actually.
Well, it's not exactly a trap the way I've seen mages do it. More like you need to drop the T and add an E at the end. That's right.
Oh.
They call it soul rape.
Oh!
And all them soul rapists at the college should be thrown into the sea for their crimes.
Are you, by any chance, planning on opening a stable? I know his opinion on the college. I'm not really crazy about it. Will you be up and running soon?
Very soon. They say good, fast, and cheap. Pick two. Something can be good and cheap, but it won't come fast.
If it's cheap, wouldn't
Something
it come fast?
could be fast and good, but it won't come cheap. And something could be fast and cheap, but it won't be good.
The last one I get you
Well,
on.
I said to Oblivion with that. My horses are going to be the fastest, cheapest thing on the market. And that sounds pretty good to me.
What is with all the businessmen here in Winterhold? I don't really like you guys. You opening a stable?
Oh yes. It'll take some time to build it. Maybe have to tear down that inn or the Jarl's home first to make room.
Yeah, good luck with that.
But a city isn't a city without a stable. It's just some backwoods hamlet like Riverwood or Rorikstead. You want prestige? You need horses.
I mean, there's pretty backwater here. I'm sure the Jarl would love to demolish his home so you can have a stable.
A good Jarl thinks only of his people. Sometimes that means lowering taxes. Most times it means raising them. Specifically, raising money for a lengthy construction project. Although he won't have to raise taxes too high. Not if we take advantage of a cheap source of labor.
Dragons? You want to lure dragons to help with the demolition? The mages, of course. You think they broke it, so they should build it. Ah, you mean children.
It's a good idea if we had more of them. But there's just the two. The scrawny little toads got energy. I'll give them that. It's like ants. You get enough of them working together, and they could debone the mammoth faster than Ranmir at a meadery. Except Arid hates Asur, and getting those children to cooperate on such a large-scale project is nothing more than a wet dream. I was thinking more along the lines of that great big college of potential slaves overlooking the city.
Once again, I run the college. How do you plan on enslaving my students?
Well, the main problem is they got them fancy seals on the entrance. The walkway is narrow too, but we can use that to our advantage.
We?
Just send some beast gone berserk down that aisle, and anyone who gets in its way is taking a carriage ride straight to Pilgrim's Trench.
Where did the we come from?
They got them some calming spells though, but that only works on the mind. It doesn't touch the tongue. That's why my plan is to feed this monster some spicy food, like one of them peppers that they sell at the markets in Hammerfell. We got some troll's mouth, hotter than the Red Mountain, and then point it right at those mages. They won't know what hit them, but they'll know when they wake up with chains around their ankles.
Hello. Good luck with your, I guess you could call it a plan.
Oh, it's a plan alright. Francis is the one who came up with it.
Oh, of course.
The idea, anyway. I helped smooth out the rough edges. She's got a cunning mind, that one.
Yeah?
Sometimes you stare at her and you don't see anything. Just some damn beast with more teeth and brains.
That's what I see right now.
But every so often she'll say something, and it'll just open up your mind and fill it with taffy. Mind taffy, I like to call it.
Note to self.
Stay away from my Francis.
Note to self, never come to Winterhold looking for business prospects. You got shady businessmen, you have guys in trying to enslave the entire College of Mages who would kick his ass in an instant. This is why no one comes out here. This is the real reason why people look at Winterhold as a backwater town. Whoop! Oh, I thought it was gonna hurt. Hello? Yes, is there something you need? Heron asked me to deliver these potions to you.
Water-breathing potions. Poor Heron must have forgotten Argonians have no use for such things. If anything, he should have sent health potions.
Do you need health potions?
I got bit by a slaughterfish on the last dive. Nearly snapped my arm in two. Still not sure how it held together.
Is the rest of the team able to dive?
Team? You mean my sons? Oh, they're just here to get their feet wet. Although having them around does help with appearances.
How much is there left to salvage?
Actually, as far as cargo goes, I've checked everything off my list, save for one thing. A lease agreement of some kind. Hopefully it's locked up in a chest somewhere, otherwise I doubt we can recover it.
Even if it is locked up, that would need it to be like a watertight chest. I can retrieve it for you.
You can? Ah, old Heron finally sent me something useful after all, albeit unintentionally. Tell you what, you find anything, I'll give you a share of the salvaging fee.
Deal. I can do that. Oh, and I have the water-breathing potions now, because she doesn't need them. She didn't want to take them. This is perfect. So I think the chest is moving slightly. Do you see that marker? Oh no, that's me moving. Never mind. Because I'm drifting because, you know, water. Oh god, I forget how absolutely terrible it is trying to see in Skyrim's water. It's no Sea of Thieves. Very few games can live up to Sea of Thieves in terms of water quality, though. It's kind of the game's entire thing. It's kind of the entire shtick of the game. Pop another potion, just to be safe. Like, yeah, it doesn't look like I'm underwater, just looks right now, or a few seconds ago, it looked like I just was staring at a dark screen. I want to see this lease agreement. The following agreement allows Werner of Rorikstead to farm on lands north of Solitude currently leased by Ingrid Farsky. In exchange, the first party shall provide half of the total profits to the Farsky clan, minus tax obligation owed to the Jarl. Now that's fairly boring and monotonous. I wouldn't have opened it if I knew it was going to be that boring and straightforward. Thought it was going to be something exciting, like, oh, I murdered your sister, and I'm glad she was, I'm glad the ship sunk because I hid the body on the boat. I hid the body on the ship. Not my sister, someone else's sister, a rival or something, but you know. Tell me more about your family.
Well, there's Pericles, over by the crates. He's talented, but lazy. But it's hard to build a work ethic when everything comes easy. Bluethroat is the middle child. He doesn't like to talk to people, so it's best to give him his space. And lastly, my little hatchling Henru, over by the fire. He's the youngest, but he doesn't like it if you baby him.
I found the lease agreement.
You did? Splendid. I ought to add you to our team. We'll have to change the name, though. Ute and Sons won't really work if you're the one taking the lead.
Ute, Sons, and Friends. Keep the name. Arnleif and Sons in Markarth has neither Arnleif nor Sons.
Ha! Not to mention my sons don't do any of the diving anyway. But I guess the name Ute and Sons is apt. My job is being a mother. Salvaging's just a way to feed the little particles. In any case, I'd like you to take this document back to Heron. This other cargo can be delayed, but documents like that tend to be time sensitive.
It's not that far of a walk back to Winterhold, you know. I mean, they just want to hang out here. I'll take the document.
Great. Here's your share of the salvaging fee. Do me a favor and let him know the rest of the cargo has been recovered. Alright boys, let's back it up. We've got to get this to Dawnstar by week's end. Yes, Mother.
Oh, I love it! In unison, yes, Mother. Oh, that's great.
Don't worry, lad. The Autumn Gale never fails to deliver. That's a promise.
Wait a second.
The Autumn Gale is at the bottom of the ocean. Who's to say the documents are even legible?
Well, I never said they'd be in perfect condition. Although if you're unsatisfied, I may consider refunding a portion of the payment.
And how are you going to refund my father's life? There's no amount of gold that can compensate me for that.
Oh boy.
Oh, right. In that case, I suppose I should just keep the gold then, with the terms of a contract being fulfilled and all.
You greedy little snake! I'm going to tear the skin off of your skull!
I'm not involved.
Hold
I'm not a
that
part
thought.
of this.
It looks like my newest employee has returned.
Don't drag me into this.
Hopefully you've brought some good news.
I found a document in the wreck regarding a land lease. I think I have what your friend is looking for, but it's gonna cost you.
Well, it's going to cost him, not me. Just hold on to it and let me work my magic.
I want money from you.
Well, lad, because you're such a valued customer, I went ahead and had my top agent expedite your request. Of course, there is a special fee that's part of our express delivery service.
I'm not a part of this.
Fine. Once my father's name is cleared, you'll be paid in full. Just bill me with the details. But first, I want to verify the document.
I'll deliver it personally.
I have it right here.
Well, is it true? Do you have the document? Is it signed by Ingrid?
What happened to your father?
A few nobles from Solitude were out hunting and trespassed on my father's land. He mistook them for thieves and, well, things got bloody. One of the men was gravely injured. Now the other wants my father punished.
Who attacked first?
That's up for debate. But if these men were trespassing, it will certainly help his case.
I often mistake nobles for thieves. You know, thieves always walking around in finery, in fine furs and clothes and shoes. Man, stupid thieves, right?
It proves my father had a right to be on the land. He signed a lease with one of the Jarl's old thanes back when she was in court.
And who is Ingrid Farsky?
A respected thane who moved to Hammerfell to help push back the Dominion. She owned the cottage and the plot of land my father leased, but they never made a contract, as Nord's word is strong as steel.
Whoop, I'm sorry, getting pushed a
But
little.
that isn't good enough in a trial. Thus we had to send word to Hammerfell to have her sign the papers.
Well, here it is.
Then there's still hope, but it might not be enough. I was wondering perhaps if I could loan your services. I'm on my way to the site of the altercation to see if I can find more evidence.
Sure, I'll head on over as soon as I can. As soon as I can.
Thank you, Salvager. Hopefully having another set of eyes will help.
I don't like you, Heron. I really, really don't. Looks like the cottage has seen better days. Definitely seen better days. Well, we just gotta wait a few hours. We gotta wait a little bit for him to show up. I'm just gonna take this bread. It's a little cold and it's near some blood, but it's fine. Wait, who's that right there? Who's that wandering around? There's two of them! Who are you guys? Three of them! Oh, okay. Bandits. Not who I was looking for. Not who I've been hoping for. Never mind. And going for the kill. Alright. Oh, what is that unmarked location? Well, whatever it is going to be tied to an interesting NPCs quest, because I think I have every other location discovered, with the exception of Helgen. Helgen, I think, is the one vanilla location that I don't have discovered on this character. Why? I'm not entirely sure why. Oh, there he is. He's not too far away. And in that case, I'll just stand and wait for a little bit.
Good, you came. There's a lot going on here, but we need to find things that corroborate with my father's version of what happened.
I hope it's not bread or cheese, because I already took those things. Are you sure his story is accurate? What if the evidence says otherwise?
That's partly why you're here. I need an objective witness with no stake in either side.
How do you know the scene hasn't been tampered with by me?
Not many people can find the place, to be honest, since it's not on any map. The only reason guards were able to arrest my father is because he was forced to spend the night in Solitude.
Well, what happened to the house?
During the fight, the candle horn got knocked over. By the time the snow came, half the place was burned down, along with much of the evidence.
Let's proceed then.
Of course. My father said he was cooking dinner when he heard a commotion outside. The trespassers must have shot down the deer. Smelling my father's dinner, they offered to share the venison in exchange for a drink and a warm fire. On this much, both sides agree.
Okay.
But out here you can never be too careful. My father demanded the strangers to leave the property and take the deer with them. The strangers were insulted. In hindsight, my father should have shown more tact. Nobody likes to be called a thief.
It's his property, though.
Eventually things got heated and shots were fired. These arrows are proof of that. My father ran inside and got his axe. There was a fight near the hearth when one of them knocked over a candle horn. When the fire started, everyone, including my father, fled. Given how detailed my father was, I wouldn't be surprised if your findings match his story.
You know what they say about lies. the most detailed lies, or sorry, you know what they say about stories? The more detailed the story is, the more likely it's a lie. Or if they repeat the story exactly again and again and again, more often than not, it's like, okay, it's a lie.
My father never liked hunting. Not at first, anyway. But he learned to love it, because he knew how much it meant to me.
So that's knocked
Part
over.
of me thinks this is all my fault.
There's the
But
axe.
I wanted to stay in the city. He wouldn't be in this situation. But then I think back to all those times we spent together, and how much it meant to him, and I don't have the heart to take them away. Have you ever lost anyone close to you, friend?
Oh, God. I'm trying to help you out here, but I can't if you keep interrupting me.
I'm sorry, I know you're just trying to help. Carry on your search, then meet me in solitude. If we work together, we can still save his life.
Well, I mean, it lines up with his story, but who's to say that his story was accurate? Just because his story is right, or just because it matches his story, doesn't mean that the story is true. Hey, you good? You need to get a move on. Get moving. I'll see you at the Blue Palace. I don't know, it just seems a little strange to me. It's like, oh, noblemen opened fire on the house for being called thieves while killing an elk right in front of the man's home? Doesn't sound like thieves to me. Or it doesn't sound like nobles to me. Doesn't sound like thieves either, though. You're having a little bit of trouble there, aren't you? Oh, almost. No, you almost left. Almost. Turn around. Turn around. No. Other way. Asgeld. Nope. You were close. Now you're cold again. Right over that way. Over there. I'm going to the Blue Palace. Hopefully, me going there will get you to pop there. Because right now you're not impressing me with your navigational knowledge. Hey, there you are. You made it. You figured out walls and doors and
Great
such.
divines you're here. Come on, let me introduce you.
Time any more than we already have. Further delay will not change the facts at hand.
Mayor, if I may, the witness I spoke of earlier has
Not
arrived.
really a witness.
Given he's examined the scene of the altercation, I'd like to have him cross-examine Formir's testimony.
Are you sure this witness of yours can be objective?
I had the captain of the guard vet him.
What?
Just as he did with your apothecary.
Excuse me?
Huh. We shall see.
I was not told about this.
Formir, there's still time to end this folly. The lease agreement proves you are trespassing. I think it's clear to both you and the court that he cannot be held accountable for your injuries.
My Jarl, it is very noble of this man to defend his father's honor, and for that, he should be commended. Unfortunately, his contention that we trespassed on his father's property is simply not true. It is not trespassing if the man invites you into his home.
You mentioned something that would convince us. Please proceed.
Thank you, my Jarl. You see, my housecarl and I were hunting a deer when one of our stray shots happened to hit this man's cottage.
I can believe that.
An unfortunate accident, but nothing particularly damaging to the woodwork.
Okay. Many arrows were nowhere near the deer. Who were you really aiming for? There were arrows all over the place. You were obviously hunting drunk. You said one arrow, but there was more than one arrow scattered about the house.
Well, that's because some of the arrows belonged to my companion. I said I shot one arrow into the cottage by accident. I made no mention of him.
Steward,
If
I
you
have
allow
an
me to
idea that might
continue,
help to
my
bolster
Jarl.
the morale of our people.
After the arrow hit the cottage, this man's father came bursting through the door. We apologized for the disturbance. To make amends, we offered to share the venison with him. He agreed and beckoned we come inside. Naturally, we were pleased to get out of the cold. My companion took to skinning the deer while I perused a nearby bookshelf.
No.
I remember this part clearly because I was pleased to find my favorite series, The Wolf Queen, on the top shelf. In fact, I had just opened the book to the first page when I heard my companion scream.
You're safer here in the palace.
The deer
Oh, very well. I can see there's no changing your
wasn't
silver-ignored mind.
skinned, which I know there's no
When this war is
model or
won,
texture for that,
I
but
will have my parade.
suspicious.
Yes, my Yara.
Oh shit, I didn't look around enough, did I? If that's your story, the joke's on you. He can't read. He had books. I did see The Wolf Queen. Top shelf, he alphabetized his books. Doesn't make sense. What motive did he have for possibly attacking you? But he didn't say he got attacked yet. You just heard a scream. I saw a Wolf Queen. I saw it on a lower shelf, I'm pretty sure.
You don't know that. You weren't even there. Besides, maybe he simply forgot to put the book back on the shelf.
He didn't like that, though.
All I know is, that's how it happened. I would not lie in front of the Jarl.
That's what liars say.
In any case, as I was saying, I heard my companion scream behind me. I turned around, only to see your father had struck him with his axe.
Liar!
Calm yourself. I let him tell his version. Please allow me the same courtesy.
Fine.
When I saw my injured companion, I acted on reflex. I wrestled the assailant to the ground and told my friend to
Please
flee.
address all questions to the
At
steward.
that point,
Folk
I was
fire
certain
me.
I was going to die. I was fumbling about, trying to find a weapon or perhaps a miracle. My hands found a candle horn. I threw it at my attacker and missed wildly, but when it struck the wood, the cabin lit up like a bonfire. And the fire is what allowed me to escape. And with that, I conclude my testimony. It is my belief that this man's father attacked us without provocation. What I ask for is not vengeance, my Jarl, but for justice. But whatever you decide, I will humbly accept your judgment.
Thank you.
That was amazing. You buried him with his own lies.
Oh, I did?
It was fun watching him try and dig his way out. Barring any surprises, I'm sure Elisif will rule in our favor.
Oh, I'm waiting for a surprise then.
Now what?
If it pleases the court, I would like to introduce some new evidence regarding our witness's character.
Oh
which
no.
I have just obtained via courier.
Oh boy.
Very well.
What about me?
Thank you, my Jarl. I do not wish to alarm anyone here, but I believe this information may very well compromise the integrity of our chief witness.
What are you up to, Formir? Explain yourself.
It is not I who has to explain myself. After all, you are the one who attested to the impartiality of this witness.
Oh, Courier, why
A
could you
witness
betray
who
me?
happens to be a well-known associate of the Raven of Anvil.
Oh shit.
Clearly both his testimony and the lease brought by Asgeld cannot be admitted.
You!
Oh, come on now, Formir. Now you're just grasping at straws. You've clearly lost.
I trusted
Be
you.
thankful you and your companion escaped with your lives.
Curse you! I will do no such thing.
Need something?
My honor demands justice. I request a trial by combat.
Now why would I
Need
do
something?
that?
Shh, Courier,
I'm not
no.
going to risk my father's life when the Jarl is minutes away from granting him a pardon.
Huh, I thought for sure you would take that bait. But I won't stand here and give you the satisfaction of winning this trial. I'm dropping the charges.
Your what? But why? What's your game?
Simple. If I allow Elisif to rule in your favor, that means I'll have to defy her will to get my way.
You're a stubborn fool, Formir. But fine. I'd rather not leave it up to the Jarl either.
Then we're agreed. I apologize for wasting the court's time. We will handle this matter internally.
Good. You're dismissed.
Kind of wasted my time
My
too.
Julianus, you did it.
Oh,
You saved my father's life.
armor, thank you. For now, Formir doesn't seem like he'll let this go. Just make sure to include my name in his will. I did nothing, it was the truth that won the day. What will you do now? I don't think he's gonna let it go, I don't trust him.
Yes, and the fact that the Jarl never made a decree means that there will be no record of this trial. Still, it will be a while before it's forgotten, and time will only weaken his case.
What will you do now?
We celebrate. I'm sure the first night outside of the dungeon, even the tavern will feel like Sovngarde itself. As for you, here, it's a piece of armor that saved my own life more times than I care to count.
Well, thank you.
It may not be better than what you have, but it's important to me that you have it. Now, I'm off to meet my father. I didn't have anything specific planned, but I'll just order a pint of mead and let it take care of the rest.
steward, I will need the following reagents for my studies. Please see to them.
I really
Miss Stentor.
don't
These are
like
It's a fine
you.
day with you around.
Impartial witness. I'd sooner have Galma Stonefist serve as the key witness to Torig's murder.
Yeah, I want you
Wards have
dead.
been in the city's defense.
I have nothing to say to you.
I want him dead.
Very
How did
well.
he know?
I suspect her grace
How did
will
he
not be
find
pleased.
out about me and the Raven at Anvil?
I've seen yours.
Oh, at least
May the gods watch over your battles, friend.
at least Elisif and the rest of the court didn't seem to care, but you!
Yes?
You traitor, you, I trusted you. Everyone trusts you. But I trusted you the most.